Hello world, this is Lisa Friedrichsen, your friend and computer science professor at Johnson County Community College. And if you're in my JavaScript 1 or 2 class, you probably come to this website to look for resources and find my YouTubes. If you're in my JavaScript 1 class, it's particularly important that we get off on a right foot. And because we're using the Murach JavaScript and JQuery book, I want to do a little bit better job of debriefing the example that is given to you in Chapter 1. So on my website, I have many different YouTubes that speak to subjects generically that do not follow a textbook. However, I've specifically added 4 YouTubes that go with this Murach JavaScript and jQuery 3rd edition textbook to make sure that when you start learning JavaScript, the textbook is making sense to you. And one of the great things about the book is that the first chapter gives you a meaty example. I'm going to run that index page that you create in the very first chapter that gives you this little alert and then provides this form to fill out to join the email list. And it does interesting things, such as it requires you to fill out this form correctly. For example, your email address and the re-enter email address must match, and you must have a value in the first name. If you leave something off, the JavaScript's going to catch that and give you a message. So we have to have this filled out correctly when we click our submit button, join our list, to get the resulting response from the form. So what I've done is I've completed this exercise and then put in some comments for you on the things that I suspect that you might have questions about. Our HTML is pretty straightforward. Again, you're going to want to put your name and your current date as a comment or in the head section somewhere at the top of the document for all files that you send me. And then I thought the most interesting thing that you might be wondering about in the HTML was this action attribute that points to the join file. So when the form is submitted, when you click this button to join our list, it responds by going to this action attribute, the join file, and that's what we just saw. But in all files, there are going to be some weird things. For example, there was a shiv script stuck in the head section of the join file that I tried to explain. The CSS is pretty straightforward. I don't think anyone's going to have any trouble with that. But the JavaScript is definitely a heavy lift for your first chapter. So what I did in this file is just go through here with JavaScript documents and basically documented every single statement. For example, what is this? It's a variable with this name, which is a symbol, the $, and it's assigned to a function. So whenever you see that $, what's actually happening is we've shortcutted document.getElementById something with the $. So every time you see a $, you could replace that with document.getElementById, and that's what this comment explains, and also tries to explain why she is shortening her code by giving you a $, function right in chapter 1. And then I go through every single statement and attempt to explain that with a comment after the statement. So this could help you a lot as you go through chapter 1. Now again, I want to emphasize that you'll code chapter 1, but you probably won't understand all of it. By the time we get through the class, however, you will be able to understand and read and write this type of code. It's just that as you're going through chapters 2 through 7, you might want to look back and say, oh, I do understand what the assignment statement is now. I do understand what an anonymous function is now. I do understand what a variable name is now. I do understand a Boolean test and that that's going to evaluate true or false. What does triple equals mean? I understand that now. So as we go through the class, all these things are going to make more sense to you. But I'm hoping that these excessive comments in this file will help you as a look back on chapter 1 and help you realize all that you're learning as we're going through the class. I'm going to post these files and have a link to that on my resources page right beside this YouTube. Thank you.